What is going on, everybody? This is Aaron of 49ers First Takes. I am here with my co-host, Mike of SF Gold Rush. This is 49ers Unfiltered on a Wednesday. Crazy week for both of us, personal reasons and sickness. So we weren't on Monday, but there wasn't much news going on anyway, so it kind of worked itself out. But just as we were about to come on tonight, I saw the news that the 49ers are going to play in Australia and so I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can bring this up here. I'm always ill prepared with these share screen deals here. But so yes, let's do it. So the 49ers will officially open the 2026 season on Thursday, September 10th at 5:35 p.m. Pacific time, which is 8:35 my time, at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's a 17-hour time difference, and the 49ers will take the field at 10:30 a.m. in Melbourne. Mike, we've had a ton of injuries. Travel is something that seems to always be an issue with the 49ers. I would love to know your feelings on this breaking news that we kind of knew was coming anyways, but that the Niners are going to start the season on the road in Australia.
Yeah, we're going down under, mate. I'm just glad they did it week one, right? And I'm actually surprised the NFL didn't try to screw them and make it like a Sunday night game. But at least they put them early in the week on a Thursday, and hopefully they don't, screw them on week two. But yeah. So I'm guessing it's going to be a Thursday, September 10th, 5:35 Pacific time. All right, so that's my time over here, which is cool. I can watch them on a Thursday night, no big deal. I mean, it's week one, right? If they were to play at 2 in the morning, I'm up for it. I don't care. It's week one. I'm hyped. I'm ready to go. So yeah, just hopefully they get adequate or whatever that word is. They get used to the time change over there. I'm sure they'll probably go like a week early and get used to it, and then get their backs or get their butts back to the States to get ready for week two for whoever they play. So yeah.
Um, I'm. I mean, it's cool, that they're taking the game to another part of the world. The NFL is always growing. But I was talking to my brother. I said, the Niners are going to play in Australia. I said, you would think that they'd give them a little bit of extra time coming into the next week, right? And I told him, I said, but the NFL is all about money. I said,
Yeah.
just like that reason they won't give us a second bye week, even if we need it.
Yep.
They're all about the NFL's. The players are not the first priority with the NFL. It is money. They can tell you that they're blue in the face, that player safety, quote unquote, is the most important thing. But Thursday night games have kind of just blown that argument up into shreds of paper. I don't know, man. I see Kenny in the comments says that Wednesday would have been better, or let them play Monday night the following week. Give them an extra day, give them an extra 2 days.
Hopefully, you would hope that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that week two is a Monday night game at least. Hopefully they don't try to make them go Thursday night back to back. But if they are going to play in Australia, honestly, the only time for them to do this is week one, right? Like you don't want this in the middle of the season because either you're going to get really bamboozled. Because even if they have it like before a bye week, after a bye week, whatever, they're going to get bamboozled on one side of the week. So at least if you do it the very, very first week of the season, they're fresh. They'll be able to bounce back from it a lot quicker.
Yeah, NFL down under, and then they go to Mexico this year too. It's
Yeah, we'll wait to see that one because the
Wow.
high elevation and all that stuff. So
No, they love the Niners in Mexico, so
yeah,
it's just nothing tests a team built with old veterans and injury history like your first game being in a time zone that is 17 hours or a 17-hour different time zone,
yeah,
with a bunch of aging bodies, a long flight home. Yeah, baby. That's how
yeah.
you start the season.
Like, do
Man.
you think they're gonna go like a week early to get acclimated, or do you think they're just gonna try to get there, like, and
That's a good
back?
point. That's
You
a good
know,
point. They've done that when they did the Ohio trip when they've, had 2 East Coast games where they'll stay in Cleveland.
like in Youngstown.
Say
Yeah.
they stay in Youngstown and they do that thing. Um, but man, you heard about Kittle talk about what they do for the big guys on the plane,
Oh
where they
yeah.
have like 30 beds for guys over 6'4", which, geez, I'm under 6'4" by about an inch and a 1/10,
Yeah.
inch and a quarter. So that means I'd have to sit. And my brother's like, "You're not a really tall guy at your height." I'm like, "Yeah, but almost 6'3" is not short either." But I told him, I said, "If you're not 6'4", they don't give you a bed. So I'd be
Yeah.
screwed just like everybody else. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty dope though that
Yeah,
they do
Kittle
that.
talked. Yeah, he talked. I was. This is totally off topic of what we're talking about, but Kittle um, was talking about. Oh, let's not have that screen. I don't know why it does that. Every time you bring yourself back from having something, it goes to the most oddball screen
Huh.
to have the cameras in. But he was talking about how he was at Mike Evans was asking him, like, sell me on being a 49er. And he was like, okay. He said, we have meals, all 3 meals. The diners serve all 3 meals at the facility every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yep.
They have a personal chef. And he was like telling
Nutritionist,
a
right? Yeah.
nutritionist, they just have a really bad health and conditioning staff. They still got to, if they're going to spend money, like, can we spend money on our like health staff? Hey, listen, at least Mike, we were wrong. At least they do spend money. Like we're so bitter about the injuries and stuff, but maybe it's just, I mean, they do. Like they're not a cheap
No, they do.
organization.
Yeah. But
Um,
Jed can sell like 1 more percent of the team to like get a new training staff. I'm good with it.
That's it. Just
Yeah,
a little percent more, and you can get a training staff. So he was
exactly.
talking about, and then he talked about how the flying. He goes, anybody that's like 6'4" or over, they have these layout beds, and it's really good for injuries. I was just like, man, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Um,
the Bengals don't have that. That's for sure.
no,
Yeah.
and we make comments all the time about the Niners being cheap. They're not cheap. They're they're one of the richest organizations in the NFL. Um, under behind like the Cowboys, and I can't think of the other teams, but like I think we just get like that because we are not the Rams and we don't just sell out our draft picks for,
Yeah.
top flight
Yeah.
players.
I wanna say I think the Niners graded their organization a B for travel.
Yeah.
I wanna
I,
say.
I wonder what that could be.
Maybe like
Maybe
accommodations at the hotel, or I don't know.
B for travel.
Yeah, I wanna say they gave them a B,
Crappy
even though
food
they
on the
have those
flight.
lay down beds and all that stuff, so I don't know.
Maybe it's an older plane.
Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's a little old and they're like, hey guys, like we cost a lot of money here. You got to take care of us.
Yeah.
uh, Joseph Ernberg, don't start with that.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's supposed to be negative here all the
Yeah,
time.
save that for Aaron.
I'm actually trying to be really positive about this year. Here, I'll tell you my underlying feeling is. The Niners have a chance to be really good this year, but like I said last year, they cannot afford any injuries. Catastrophic injuries because they're old. They're very old on offense. Defense, they're pretty young. Other than linebacker, they're pretty young on defense. I think people got to be like, oh, the Niners are really old. Yeah, on offense. Defense, other than linebacker, pretty good. Bosa, yeah, whatever. But like their defensive line's got a bunch of young guys. Their secondary's all young. They're all under 30. Hobbs, I'm not exactly sure how old he is, but like my whole thing is this: stay healthy, use the veterans for what they are, which is like a placeholder, and then hit in the draft. And if you could do those two things, this could be a really successful year. But the injuries, that's why this game being overseas to start the year concerns me because it's like we're already starting off on the wrong foot as far as travel
Yeah.
goes. But
Yeah. True. True.
so of course, I'm gonna put this banner down here. So of course, another week goes by and we still have Trent Williams drama, contract drama. Kyle seems to think it's not an issue, but it continues to roll into the NFL draft. We talked about this the last couple of weeks, so I want to revisit your mindset. Are you still of the mindset that they just have no choice and they have to pay him? Or are you getting frustrated to the point where you're like, you know what, you don't want to be here? Like, you really only care about money? Like, get lost. We'll trade you somewhere.
There's no other option, Aaron. I mean, it's Trent Williams or nothing, and it's pretty much he is the deciding factor of the season. If you're going into the season with this offense and you're trying to give Brock Purdy time to throw against our division rivals in Seattle and the Rams and their defense that they're bringing, I'm sorry, Robert Jones or Austin Pleasance or whoever is going to be there, it ain't it. Brock Purdy was already getting murdered before with Trent there. I can only imagine what would happen without him. And we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't pass. That would be amplified to the next level. And the Niners don't have a choice. If Trent Williams is not there, you can say hello to that 4-13 season 100%.
I don't know, man. Like, he's always hurt, at least this point in his career. He's going to miss games. I mean, how much money is too much money? You know, because the same people that say that we're cheap, and I want to challenge you on something you said in a little bit. I know you don't really thoroughly mean that. Just people who say, and I'm not talking about you when I say this, people who say, oh, the Niners are cheap, they don't do this, they don't pay for this, they don't go out and get the big names, are the same people that be like, why are we overspending for a guy that's 38? You know, like say he gets hurt this year and we end up forking over all the money.
Okay.
Then everyone, all the people that said that we should do it because we don't have a choice are going to be the same people complaining, well, we shouldn't have gave all that money to Trent Williams. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, let's rewind that. You just said we didn't have a choice and that the Niners, you know, are stuck and this and that, and that they're cheap, but now all of a sudden they're spending the money, and are they still cheap? Like, I can't, both of those things can't exist in the same place at the same time. You're either cheap and you don't pay your players ever and they always walk, or you are frugal and careful with your money and you're smart with your cap, which has kind of allowed the Niners to not have many years like last year where they've had to like completely purge themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, we'll bring it up. You on X said that the move of the offensive line we brought in, Brandon Jones
or Ronald Jones or
Robert Jones.
Robert Jones.
You're like, oh well, you know, the Niners aren't going to pay. You know, they don't want to pay top dollar. I think you were talking about somebody else. They're not going to pay top dollar for guys.
What I was referring to is that how they lowballed Christian Kirk and Mike Evans into taking like really, really below average salaries,
right?
Which obviously for the 49ers, that's great, right?
Yeah.
But they're relying on their pedigree of, hey, come play for Kyle Shanahan, come play for us on a discount. You know, that's only going to work for so long. These players in the NFL, if you're lowballing them, you're not going to get any of them because number one, the taxes here are absurd. And you have to remember the NFC West, right, is in a division where you're playing in LA or in California. You know, you have the Rams here as well. So, and now they're talking about implementing a crazy tax in Seattle for guys over there. So, what is the benefit to come play for the Niners if you're going to lowball them too? You know what I mean? It's almost like they have to not overpay, but like you're not going to draw really good free agents to come here by lowballing them. You almost have to make it a little bit sweeter just because of the tax situation, right? So that's my point. I'm not saying like, oh, we need to go out and just offer top dollar for everybody, but it's kind of bad when you're just lowballing everybody when you're in the most, you know, unfriendly tax state to play for in the NFL.
Well, I agree with Lori. The Niners are smart with their money. The thing that I'll say is that, like, okay, they lowball a lot of people, right? They lowball big name players, but like the Niners are pretty much selling you like, hey, if you come here, if money isn't your only goal, like if money's all you care about, probably not going to be the place you want to come to. But if you want to take slightly less money and have a chance to be in the playoffs every year and a chance at a Lombardi, we're the team you want to come to. And so the Niners don't cater to everybody. That's why a guy like Mike Evans is like, yeah, Christian Kirk, a guy who was on the Cardinals and the Jaguars. If somebody said, hey, you take a pay cut, but you might have a chance to win a championship, you get to play with Brock Purdy and be coached by Kyle Shanahan. And he'd be like, you know what? Why not? I made enough money in my career. I've had a big contract or two. The Niners, but that's how you keep a team.
But why do they do that? Like, why do they have to do that?
Because you can't blow your stack on one or two players.
No, you know why they do that? Because they don't know how to draft.
Well, that's the other. See, that's a whole other conversation.
Build their team right, because LA can do it, right? LA they can draw whatever free agent they want to come.
That was what I was hoping to get out of you.
Yeah, the Niners have a different strategy, and it's not a good one. So that pedigree of, hey, come play for us, we'll go to the playoffs. That's only going to work for so long, and for only a very small percentage type of player. You know what I mean? Like, you can miss out on a really, really good free agent that's like, nah, dude, I'd rather just go play in Dallas instead, just because I'm gonna save 20% of my paycheck compared to going and playing for you, just because you think you might go to the playoffs. So
the drafting is one of the biggest issues why they have to overpay, or why people think like us think like, man, they really need to kill it in free agency. This year is interesting year. We talked, I complained, and I was telling everybody, I was warning everybody, like, we're not going to be we're not going to be active in free agency. I'm telling you, like, all these rumors don't mean jack crap. And then of course the Niners have been active. Here's the thing I feel about that is I'm happy they've been active, but the thing that bothers me about it is a lot of these guys are older. Even the guard we brought in from Dallas, he's been healthy his whole career. He played all 17 games in 2024, and then he got an injury last year. So, like, they're banking on him kind of returning to 2024 for him. But that's
a horrible strategy.
I know.
Hope is not a strategy,
because they don't hit in the draft. Kenny Seeger says, I swing a big trade that kills two birds with one stone. Minnesota wants to free up cap. I send our first for Addison and Grenard, maybe at a fourth next year to it. What do you think about that? I don't know how I feel. I don't know if I'd feel about trading our first for
for
both
two
of those
players.
Guys.
I mean, I think Addison. I think that conversation's that we don't.
They're not bringing Addison over.
No, I mean this draft is pretty wide receiver heavy, so I wouldn't see a need to do that. Grenard, obviously, I would love. They definitely need another edge player. Depends on the price, obviously, but I would like for them to trade for Grenard. That'd be great. It just depends on the price, right?
Yep. Lori says they don't lowball free agents. If they had a chance to get a player in their prime, oh my God, my eyes are playing tricks on me. They would pay according to just. So we have the thing that I get that where I have to always kind of jump on people who say we don't spend money is the fact that the Niners pay their own guys, and there's a lot of teams like the Patriots that never really paid their own guys. There's teams like the Dolphins. My brother tells me, like, every time they draft anybody that's worth a shit, they end up not re-signing them. So like the Niners at least do pay and reward their guys. I think
Lori is she's right and wrong at the same time, because yes, if they do really want somebody, they've shown they went out.
But it would have been Mike. It would have to be Mike. But it would have. I don't. Let's get into the Bosa thing. Why would you? I don't like. I seen your tweet and I was like, I'm thinking to myself, Mike, why would you don't pay Joey a load of money? No, he's not that guy anymore. No,
which one are you talking about?
You were making a comment about how they get the low balling.
Yeah,
I took it as like, well, Mike, what about Joey Bosa? This is what I was thinking. You're gonna overpay for Joey Bosa? I was gonna be like, that's foolish. I didn't respond to you. I was like, I want to wait. I want to save it for the show. Yeah, they do lowball, but at the same time, I'm not paying Joey Bosa freaking. Oh, he wants top money, dude. Let me say this, and this isn't to you. The Bosas are about money first,
Yeah,
then winning. Let's get
facts.
this crap out of our mind about they love. Listen, football's a business. You have a finite time to be a good player before your body starts to break down. The
Yeah,
Bosas are known to have body that break down all the time. You're not overpaying for a guy. If Joey Bosa wants to go make a bunch of money, go, let him go. He doesn't care where he plays.
yeah.
He doesn't care where he
No, I
plays.
agree. You're not there. There's no world where I would love to go overpay for Joey Bosa. That's not happening. I'm saying that the 49ers need another edge rusher.
Oh, I agree
Period. They
100%.
can't go into the season with Sam O and um whatever his name is from the Patriots that we got. I can't even remember right now. But like that's just not feasible. Do I want them to go out and get somebody like Joey Bosa just to add another player? Yeah,
Yeah,
they also need to draft somebody as well. It's not just one more person, that's it. They need to get two. They need to get another one in free agency and another one in the draft. But as far as lowballing, I do believe they do lowball guy. Like remember Devontae Adams last year? He came out publicly and said it. He's like the Niners lowballed me, and he said something like, they try to bring me on like cheap or something. Like he was very derogatory about like how he was actually like disrespected about it. And guess what? The Niners could have used Devontae Adams last year. That was a pretty big need. And that would have number one taken him away from the Rams and brought him here, and we still could have used him this year. He probably would still be our number one this year
I
if
would only be okay
we
with the
pick him.
Niners spending stupid money. I don't mean like stupid amount of money. It has to be a guy like a Dion who is the one player you need to go win a championship. If
Yeah.
they're spending money on like B plus level players and they're overbidding and paying a ton of money to, I don't want that. Like Joey
No,
Bosa, even
yeah.
Devontae Adams. I want like
But
like
look, they went and traded draft picks for Sky Moore. They went and
yeah,
traded, they paid Luke Farrell. Like
yeah,
the,
baby.
their
Yeah.
allocation of resources are
You are
just
right. Yes, you are right. They're yeah, uneven with the way what they do.
it's very strange. Like, you needed a wide receiver, just go get Devontae. Like, how much more could he have wanted that you were like you lowballed him so bad that he actually was like disrespected by it? And it's like, dude, you needed him. Like, what's the point of offering somebody that low if you know they're gonna tell you to go F off? You know what I mean? It's just like
The Niners have their
they
price
have
and
a
they're not
track
going to
record of
budge.
doing this now, and it's just kind of like embarrassing, I think.
You know why it's embarrassing, Mike? Is because we haven't won a Super Bowl in over 30 years.
Yes.
Would you be pissed this much if the Niners had won a couple chips and they were lowballing free agents?
No, because you're able to lowball if you win
Right.
Super Bowls, right?
Right.
Because you're like,
Yep.
hey,
Yep.
we're winning Super Bowls. Come play with us. Just like guys like to go play with the Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to go play with Mahomes. I want to go win a chip.
Yeah.
But
No, I
we
agree
can't
with
live
you.
on that. We're like, hey, we almost get there. So you want to come play with us in a high tax state?
You know what's killed this team more than anything is the Trey Lance trade. We're still feeling the effects of that trade. How many years later? You know
We're going to feel it forever.
the Grant Cohns and the Jesse Nailers and the Brian Hensleys can sing to the high heaven how the Niners screwed over, you know, Trey Lance and that Brock Purdy's mid and all this other. Regardless of what's happened and how that all turned out, that was a horrible trade. And
Might be the
what
worst in
makes
NFL history.
yeah, and what makes it worse is not only were those guys wrong about Trey Lance, and he proves it every time he's on the field and how he's like a third stringer, but it
Yeah.
just makes the Niners move to draft him look that much. Just man, you could have used that pick. You could have drafted Micah Parsons, and you could have had a real edge tandem.
You would have won
Say
the
what you
Super
want
Bowl.
about Micah Parsons being a little mentally irregular, but like I said, you always need a mentally irregular guy on your roster.
Yeah. Him and
See, I'd be a
Bosa
perfect
together would have
fit.
been nuts.
Right. I would have been perfect in that era of like having crazy people. I'm insane, dude. Like I have clinical depression issues. If you want a guy that's going to have a meltdown every so often, I would be the guy you want to bring on your team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't have choir boys across the roster. That's why I love having Greenlaw back because
Yeah.
Greenlaw's a little bit unhinged. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
draft,
gonna haunt the Niners for forever, for the entire lifelong existence of our fan base, we will always remember the Trey Lance debacle.
But if Brock Purdy was to lead them to a Super Bowl soon, a lot of fans would no longer care.
No, I wouldn't care. Just give me one more. That's all I care about. I just want one more, buddy. That's it.
We had a soft schedule, and the Super Bowl was in Santa Clara, so we went all in.
We went all in? I don't think so. I think we
I don't
blew
think
it
we
up,
went
right?
all.
We had
Who
a
went
soft
all in?
window.
We didn't go all in last year. I wish we did.
No.
We didn't have the Niners were never going to win the Super Bowl last year. It just never was going to happen. They were too hurt.
Yeah.
And it's funny how everybody killed me for it, right? Like I just didn't want to buy into it. And I remember you even saying, Aaron, buy in. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to buy in.
I just wanted you to enjoy the moment that what we were in. You know what I mean? Like,
coming from a guy who can't always enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment because we were there. There was a chance, and then
this is why I became a fan of yours after initially thinking, man, he's really negative about the Niners. And then I'm like, who am I to talk? Like, I am the most miserable 49ers fan because to me, Super Bowl or bust, I'm still obsessed with that from the 90s. And like, I don't allow myself to ever relax and have fun with it. But
yeah,
I just had a hard time last year with it, man, because they were winning games, but like when you're watching the game, you know that like, man, if this was against a real competition,
we knew deep down,
blown off. And so like I was like happy, but I was kind of playing that I was happy until Dre and Sterling were just like, oh, so tired of you. And then I was bitching about the injuries last year. And a lot of people early in the season were like, you need to shut up about the injuries. It's preseason. Wait till the regular season before you start complaining. And then once the regular season hit, it was like a cavalcade, just a Niagara Falls amount of injuries. And it was just like, I didn't even want to, I wasn't like, even like, oh, bro, I'm going to brag about it and be right. I was like more depressed because I thought it for a while that maybe I was the bad guy for thinking about the injuries and that maybe I was wrong and I needed to shut up. And like the more that the injuries happened, I was just like, shoot, I wish I actually I wish they weren't as hurt. Like, and I don't feel good about this, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I was pretty negative last season too, but then once we started getting close and we were in that position to get that 1 seed, I was like, hey, why am I getting mad? Like, just enjoy this moment. Enjoy that we're here, that we actually have a chance. If it does happen, what a story. If not, like I knew I knew we were gonna get smoked. It was, but I'm like, hey,
I didn't know we were gonna get smoked that bad in Seattle.
Not that bad. Definitely not that bad. But especially after winning in Philly, I was like, dude, okay, maybe we got a chance here. The NFL is really weak this year. Anything can happen. And I was just like, I might as well enjoy it and have fun and enjoy the hype, the all that stuff, just to have fun. Because otherwise, I got to wait a whole another year for that. So,
yeah, Lori is always getting on me for being negative, and she, I've been a lot better, I think. And we're gonna get to why she still got after me the other day. I think it was Lori. I said a mean thing about a player that I have major issues with. But I've been trying to be more positive after last season. It's really difficult for me. But I am trying to see the positive of it, even with all the old guys that we brought in,
Yeah. Well, week 1 is going to be a really cool litmus test. You know what I mean? Just to see, where if we can hang with the best roster in the NFL. So we'll know that right off the bat.
Tell you what, man, some people are saying the Niners did a good job in free agency. This draft will make this, if they hit in this draft, which I know you don't have a lot of confidence in, neither do I, but if they were to hit in this draft, that it would make this free agency class look so much better because essentially you're like, okay, we have depth now. I know there's some older guys, but like if say they draft an edge guy, they draft a receiver, they draft a safety, okay?
Yep.
And then maybe, I don't know, maybe they draft another offensive lineman. They have I know that the guys that they brought in on the offensive line don't really, aren't sexy moves, but they have addressed it and they know they have a problem. I do really like the guy.
Hold on.
What?
They have not addressed it. Adding warm bodies. You're sounding a little like David Lombardi here, where he's praising
I do
them
not
for
want to.
look
No,
look at
I
their
don't want to
investment
sound
in the
like him.
offensive line. That is not an investment. Those are warm bodies to fill.
That's how he keeps his front seat in the media room. He has to kiss everybody's ass.
Dude, no. An investment is getting someone who's really good on the offensive line. Getting someone who's, not on somebody's practice squad or who just came off a catastrophic neck injury and who hasn't played in a year. That's not an investment. That's adding players to your 90-man roster. That's what that is.
The problem is with Aaron Lombardi. Ouchie. I wish I had his followers and his money. Aaron Lombardi. I mean, I wish. If I was if I had to sell out and just be all about cashing those YouTube checks, then yeah, maybe.
We're trying to get there. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, definitely. He said I would rather have just been bad last season, kept our picks this season, and did a full rebuild. But we went deep in the playoffs knowing we had no chance. Yeah, you know what, Kenny? 49ers, I feel exactly the same way as you. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because it's like, oh, you're going to wait till the draft and you're going to get excited. When you know your team really doesn't have a shot and they continue to win, and every time they continue to win, it damages their ability to go and get a blue chip player that they so desperately need. That's where I agree with Kenny. It's like, okay, if we're going to suck. Like the Dolphins, what happened with the Dolphins last year? My brother, I told my brother was like, because they kind of were starting to win some games. And me and my brother have the mindset. He's like, I mean, if things are going to go, then you just need to completely bottom out. And so, like, when they initially were going to keep their coach in Miami after bringing in the GM, my brother's like, I'm not satisfied. And then when they completely gutted that thing, he was like, now I'm actually excited. It's like the same with like a rebuild. Like if you're bringing in new people.
Yeah, like the Raiders. All the Raider fans are super excited right now.
You rather go full rebuild or full reset roster, additions with having a bad record instead of being like a so-so team where you have a so-so pick and it really all it does is give you so-so players. It doesn't give you the blue chip. The only thing that's good about sucking every single year, like the Niners did in the mid 2010s, is that they drafted a Bosa, they drafted Fred Warner, they drafted Kittle. They got all these guys for sucking. And so now, because they've been so bad at drafting, and when you finish with the record they do every year when they've been good, it magnifies how bad these misses have been because you have to hit when you're drafting in the high 20s.
Big time.
And when you don't hit drafting in the high 20s, eventually that starts to stack up on your roster. And that's kind of where they are right now. So, like, yeah, I'm excited. I wish, like I said, last year they would have completely bombed in a way. I know that's really messed up. I just never thought they were going to win the Super Bowl, but
I think it's easy to say that in hindsight, right? Like, yeah, looking back now, yeah, I wish they would have lost all their games and we would have been picking in the top 3, right? But when you're in the moment in the middle of the season, that's part of being a fan, right? Is the ups and downs and the hyper emotion of winning and losing and the fantasy of, oh, can we do it? Can we pull off a, storybook ending? That's kind of the whole reason why we watch, right? Like, it's not like if someone told you, hey, the Niners are going to win 2 games this year, everyone's going to get hurt and they're not going to be fun to watch. Like, you don't want to hear that right off you don't want to know that, right? Like, you want to see the story play out as it goes and you're like, oh, okay, what's going to happen this year? That's part of being a fan though, right? That's why we do it.
Before I get to the thing that I want to get to next, Kenny's like, he's like, I never watched Lombardi anymore, but yesterday I watched for a little, and in the minute I was there, he said, "That's why I'm up here and you guys are in the chat. No one in the chat can do what I do." Jeez, man, dude, what is up with these YouTubers
That's crazy.
who like are just normal folk. Like even some of the people I'm not a big fan of, the old Cone Click. Like, dude, you're a freaking YouTuber, dude.
That's
You got a
hilarious.
lot. Awesome that you get a ton of views and you make money off of it. You're a YouTuber. Nobody knows who you are other than us and some Niner fans. Nobody cares. Like to have that kind of an ego for essentially being like a guy that's only known to 49er fans, pretty sad.
That's
Vintage
really
Lombardi.
wild.
All right. I want to bring up our favorite topic about our favorite player.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can get the video file up here. Is it here? Oh, yeah. So we've talked about Princess Pearsall on and on. And so this is what our guy Dante Whitner had to say about him, about this being a make or break year. We've already talked about that till we were blue in the face. I know Lori always gets on me for being mean to him, but I just don't like the guy because I just think he's soft and I don't want him on our team. But here's what he had to say.
Make or break year for Ricky Pearsall.
If Ricky Pearsall plays 16, 17 games, Ricky Pearsall is going to make an impact.
But I asked, is this a make or break year for him? The number one attribute for any professional athlete, NFL, NBA, hockey, baseball, is availability. Last year, coming into the season, healed up from the shot wound, PCL, knee injuries, ankle, inconsistency, and a lack of availability. That's year 2. Now, we did see him flash. We did see his ability to separate, but we didn't see it when it counted. So now you go into year 3. Jackson Smith and Jigba just finished year 3. His trajectory said 800 first year, 1100 second year, 1700 in offensive player of the year, third year. I know we're not expecting that from Ricky Pearsall, but if Ricky Pearsall misses around 50% of the availability in the games this year, it's probably over for the perception of Ricky Pearsall developing into a number 1 wide receiver in Kyle Shanahan's offense. When you look through the track record through NFL history and you go through the first 2 years for any wide receivers drafted in the first round, odds of becoming an all-pro after year 2 is almost zero if you can't stay on the field for that third year. This is a make or break year for him.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Mike, your thoughts?
Yes, I agree 199,000%. Look, it's clear as day. Ricky, I'm sorry, he's soft. You know what just came out, Aaron? Remember when George Kittle was doing an interview? I think he was on Bussin' with the Boys. He told everyone he was playing through 2 torn ligaments in his ankle.
Yep. Just like Fred the year before with the
broken
fracture.
Foot.
Yep.
2 torn ligaments in his ankle, and he was still putting it out there on the line. Ricky Pearsall took more than the allotted time to come back from his PCL injury and still couldn't produce, couldn't stay on the field. Didn't even try to come out a game early. Didn't even try to like push it and show his team like, hey, man, I'm here for you guys. You know, I'm still on my rookie contract. I want to show you guys I'm part of the 49ers culture. I understand all these guys are out here grinding. JJ's out here in a body cast. George is on one leg for multiple games. Trent's out here, blown hamstring. Everybody's hurt. And I'm going to take my full allotted time. And you know what? It still doesn't feel good. I'm going to take myself out again. He doesn't fit the culture, man. I was never a fan of the pick. I hated it. I hated the pick from the get-go. From 5 seconds after I made a video, immediately saying, what were they thinking? And yes, has he shown flashes? A hot flash in the pan for sure. But as Dante said, you have to be available.
The thing with everybody that drives me insane is when they talk about what he can do and this and that. Where? When? He's barely played. Where do we get all this? Like, he can do this. He's a man beater. When? When do you see all this? There's nothing he does that impresses me other than run good routes, crisp ass routes. That's it. Is he a separator? Like, where he can get really like behind the defense a little bit, but is he going to beat you after the catch? Like, Juwan Jennings, Debo, when he was in his prime, or like, if you didn't put a solid hit on Debo, he's going to bounce off your ass, right?
Yeah.
He's a one-hit fall down guy.
Exactly.
He's a Tyler Lockett, essentially.
He's the second he catches the ball, he falls down guy. You know what I mean? He has no yards after the catch. He's like one of the worst ranked wide receivers in Yak. So every time the ball is getting hit to him, so he's not separating. Like that tells me he is not separating because the second he gets the ball, he's on the ground. He's one of the worst in the entire NFL for yards after the catch.
I just don't understand this fascination where everybody makes up this amazing skill set that he has that I still haven't seen.
He'll
And
probably
and,
end up
and
being a Trent Taylor in
you know
2
what's
years.
you know what, and he's still like part of the Cabo click, which makes I don't understand that at all. The Niners are weird, man. Never seen a team act like winners that really haven't won a Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
hey, at least they always say you got to act like it before you do it. So I mean, I guess they're
true.
doing that. You know, it's funny. You have all these videos of him and pictures of him working out in the off season, and all they do is enrage me
Yeah,
because I'm like, this dude, all of a sudden the season's over and he's healthy and he's smiling and he's dancing. And then when it's football time, he's nowhere to be found. I thought he legitimately, the PCL was really, really bad. And, Sterling was kind of getting on me because he was like, it's a pretty serious injury, And he's like, if you ever had a PCL injury, and I was like, no, I've never had one. But then
I've
when
had
you
one.
hear pretty painful.
Yeah, but I didn't take 8
You
weeks. I mean, I don't
still
know,
went to
dude.
work.
If I'm a professional athlete, I'm playing. Look, I've had a lot of injuries in my jiu-jitsu career, I could tell you. And I've pushed through almost every single one of them. And I'm not a professional athlete by any means, right? I'm not getting hit by Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw, but there is a mental aspect of it to where guys notice if you're pushing through injuries or not. Where I've had to have my own coach tell me to get the out of the gym because I'm not allowed to train there because I had neck surgery, 6 weeks prior, and I'm in there in the gym trying to get some rolls in, and they're like, "Bro, what are you doing?" So it's like it's a mentality thing too, right? And I think
Also,
guys
I think the
saw it from
generation
him.
we grew up to.
Yeah, I think guys on the team see it, and I think it's visible to them, and I think that's why I don't know if he's that close with anybody on the team, but I think they all push through injuries, and they're like, "Dude, this guy's over here just like milking it," and like, what's up with that?
Everybody gets mad when I call him a pussy ass bitch, but that's what he is to me. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh, and by the way, anybody who wants to mess with me, I'm a pretty big guy and I can handle myself. But see, Mike's my dude now, so like
yeah,
he's a
I got
brown
his
belt.
back.
Mike, anybody who's like really fast and I can't like catch them, you can go after them. I
Yeah,
go after
I
all the
got you.
slow
I got
fat
you.
guys. Anybody who's slow and fat, those are my people I take on. No, no fighting. Um, Thank you, 49ers, 2025 coming through. Appreciate it. Joseph Vermerg was talking about how he never got a super chat answered with Lombardi. I feel so bad for you because it's like when you pay money to see or go watch somebody and to tell them that you appreciate them and they do that to you, it's pretty lame.
Yeah,
You guys just got to expect that though. These guys are making money hand over fist off YouTube.
and he's so arrogant that he feels like he doesn't have to.
We're
Yeah,
not as good as those guys because we don't have all the info. We don't have any inside track. We don't do film breakdowns and stuff. But like the smaller 49er channels that are not part of any clique and it's just a bunch of normal dudes who do normal jobs outside of YouTube. I feel like what they lose in lack in knowledge, they make up for in like getting along with everybody in the chat. And like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I lost monetization years ago, and I think it was a blessing in disguise because I think I was trying to make content and always like have big names come on my channel for the
uh-huh.
specific reason of trying to make money. So in a way, it became more of like, do I really like doing this because I like doing this, or am I doing this because I'm doing it for money? And the fact that the money was taken out of the equation, I just like talking to fellow Niner fans who have similar mindsets. That's why
Yeah,
me and you hit it off because like we're so like prove it to me. I want to be proven wrong. I don't
yeah,
believe you're drafting. Be better at it. But Pure Assault to me, man, I don't have any expectation for him whatsoever. If y'all think he's going to make it through 16 games without an injury next year, you guys, I hate to say it, but you're going to be disappointed. You'll probably be like LeBron on a fast break and hurt his fingernail and then just stand in the backcourt while everybody else is playing kind of thing. Like, man.
Yeah.
Fractured foot, ligaments torn, playing still. Guy has a knee boo-boo and was told, oh, if we had one extra day and the game was tomorrow, another day, he would have been able to play. And then in that same week leading up to the next game, he suddenly became more injured. We keep bringing this up. Like, how do you become more injured if the previous game, if you had one extra day, you would have been able to play? Like, what?
Yeah, and you haven't even practiced. So, like, how is that even possible?
I think some people like the idea of being an NFL player, Mike, and they like the idea of what kind of lifestyle it brings them, but they don't truly love the game.
Yeah.
You know that the players in the past love the game, Mike, because they didn't get paid jack shit.
Yeah.
John Taylor used to sell cars in the offseason in the 80s. He sold cars in the offseason because the players, unless you were a top dog, you didn't make any money. These players now, I like that they've put a salary cap on like the rookies and stuff. I really think that's great. Like, that's why I want to circle back to the Bosa thing. Like, yeah, you can get on the Niners for possibly always being a low ball team. But I'd rather please low ball. I don't want a guy here who's a hired mercenary only here for money. He doesn't care about people. Like they try to blow this thing up. Like, oh, he wants to play with his brother. He was doing that. He wants to do that. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No.
He wants greenbacks because the Bosas are money. Oh, they're businessmen first and foremost. Like the Niners having not to deal with Bosa this offseason because of his injury is such a blessing in disguise because that would have been just another distraction. So then I hate to say it. I hate to wish ill will on Nick Bosa, but the fact that he got hurt really kind of helped him out. Because if he would have not, they would have had some. I feel like some things would have been brewing this offseason with him. There's a Najee Harris rumor going around out there. People say the Niners could be connected, could be interested. Take it with a grain of salt. It was Grant Cohn. He said that Renardo Green and I forget who else were going to be traded this offseason, and neither of them have been yet. So Ricky Pearsall and Renardo Green.
We'll see.
But Najee Harris rumor, pretty productive. He's been a 1,000-yard rusher his whole career. Last year he tore his Achilles. Of course, Niners are going to go after somebody unless they have a checkered injury history or coming off of a serious injury. Their Niners are not even going to look at you. They didn't re-sign. They didn't re-sign. Oh my God, his name is escaping me. Yeah, they didn't re-sign B-Rob. What do you think?
See that's what I'm really confused about is why would they go after Najee Harris and not re-sign B-Rob? And B-Rob took he signed for nothing. Like I think his contract was like $2 million. It was like ridiculous. So, and B-Rob actually produced in this offense. They just didn't use him a lot. There's a lot of games where he rushed for over 5 yards a carry, and they just shut him down. But like Najee Harris, I mean, you had B-Rob who's younger, fresher. He only had, I think B-Rob only had maybe under 100 carries last year. So he's really fresh. He offered production in the return game as well, right? He's also a backup returner. He's faster than Najee. I don't get it. I'm really confused on that move right there.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
If they end up signing him or if they're interested. I don't really understand. If that's the point, why get off?
Maybe just money. Maybe B-Rob wanted more and Najee's looking for less.
B-Rob signed for nothing. He signed for $2 million.
Who's 49ers brought up that Mekhi Becton is a free agent, Dolphins lineman. I don't know if he's coming off of injury last year. That would have to be a major question because I have no idea why he would be.
He's a tackle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, weird. I mean,
Shout out to Jay in the Bay. Yeah, I used to be really close with Jay in the Bay. I used to actually do content with him. He doesn't really do much on YouTube, I don't think, anymore. But yeah, one of my favorite 49er content creators that I really had fun doing stuff with. Always positive. Always positive. Completely opposite of me. Yeah. The Najee Harris thing for me is like whatever. It doesn't move me. If I'm them, if you're that sold on Jordan James, make him your number 2 back.
Yeah.
And then you
It's
have
just confusing. I just don't
yeah,
understand.
they don't always make any sense. I don't know. I really don't. Question, and then we'll get out of here. Have the Niners put themselves in best position or best player available in this draft with the moves that they've made?
I would hope so. I mean, I think even if they didn't make any of these moves in free agency, they still should go best player available. That's my
Right.
stance. I'm dying on this hill just because of their previous draft history, right? Especially in the first round. Like even Michael Williams, the games that he played didn't grade out that well. And
Yeah, me and
I
you are
think,
not big on the Michael Williams pick.
yeah, they're just not good at drafting in these first 3 rounds. And I think honestly, they need to do the same thing for their first couple picks, just best player available. I don't care if it's a double up at a position, just best player available. See how it shakes out. At least you're going to get somebody on the field who will produce, right? You have a higher chance of that happening than pigeonholing yourself into a certain position group that you have to reach for because of a need. So I'm hoping they go BPA. They probably won't. And I'll be very disappointed. So what do you think, Aaron?
Kenny, before I answer you, says he was always with us on Michael. Yeah, Sterling loves him. I just don't see it.
I don't see
I want
it
a
either.
difference. I want a difference maker at 11. That's what I want.
You need a difference maker at 11.
Like you said, blue chip players. You want a blue chip player, a player who's a day one starter, unquestioned, and is a bookend rusher for Bosa.
Yes. So
Not
look,
a
Michael's run defense grade was 57.8. That was 85th out of 115 eligible. His pass rush was 51.9, which graded him 106th out of 115th.
So,
and his overall grade was 53.9, which was 101st out of 115. So you're telling me that's your number 11 pick in the draft?
yeah, I don't understand why a guy needs all this apparatus around him or this all these what is it, accoutrement to be a good player. Like, why do you need all this stuff? Well, if this guy is here and then you move him inside and you draft this guy, like, why can't you just be a guy that makes an impact without other players needing you or being needed?
Yeah.
That's the problem I had with that pick. And I'm going to die on that one, even though Sterling knows way more about stuff than I do when it comes to the draft and players. He is really smart. I will stay on that one. My whole thing with we have what, 4 4th-round picks? Why?
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you that 3 of those picks are going to end up being players that make an impact next year.
I hope so.
And the number 1 pick, if he's a receiver, probably won't even see the field.
Exactly.
Don't draft the receiver at 27 because he's not going to play. Kyle's going to come up with some convoluted reason why he can't make the field, and he's going to start Evans and Kirk and Princess, which is not a bad group if it's like week 1, but like I'm talking about like, week 10, week 14 when guys are starting to break down. Age, I would rather have a young guy out there, but I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited with the draft coming up because we've done.
Do you have a draft crush yet?
No, I have to start doing a deep dive. I really haven't done a deep dive in the draft. I haven't done a deep dive the last couple of years. Laurie Matthews thinks like Calapan on. I kind of feel that way too, to be honest with you, even though I'm super not high on him. I feel like one thing that I think me and Mike do is like we want guys to be blue chip right away. And what we fail to realize is sometimes but what we have to realize sometimes with draft picks is sometimes I think because we see other teams and their picks like shine right away. sometimes with some teams, guys don't shine the first couple of years, and all of a sudden they hit, whatever year it is, and they become this incredible player. And they're like, man, what about all you guys who are going to give up on this person? And now what do you have to say? And so Parasoft, that's pretty good. Instead of Aerosoft, it's Parasoft. I like that one. You guys want to go play some Parasoft? Yeah, I'm not a fan of Parasol, not at all. Every time he makes a clip or put something up on social media, I always attach it to Mike every time.
Yeah.
I have to ruin Mike's day every single time. Like Mike's probably having a great day rolling around on the mat doing jiu-jitsu. I'm going to send him a Pearsall picture.
I'm like, damn it, Ricky.
Then he gets you to tap. Ends up getting you tapped out.
Yeah.
You're like looking at your phone and you're like, oh, wait, my arm.
My mind is gone.
Oh, man. Mike, me and you are finally, we got our intro, we got our background, everything.
Yeah, it's looking good, man.
Dude,
we're official.
We are official 49ers Unfiltered. Hey, everybody who's been in the chat the last couple weeks, I've been seeing kind of a boom. I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, guys.
It's doing YouTube is fun, but it's more fun when people actually interact with you. Like I said, not being a big channel and Mike being kind of a newer guy to YouTube. Mike's way, like, TikTok is Mike's deal. I'm lagging behind him on TikTok for sure. I started TikTok, but like I've always kind of known just your channel. Your look is good. You have the, just like a good camera or whatever, like the whole way you do your videos. The composition of it always looks really good. But I stole you off of there. I was like, it's because he wants to collaborate. I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna make that nightmare come true. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? I never really answered the question. I think the Niners are in a really good position in the draft to take BPA. And
you think they will, though? You think they will?
No, I think they have a person in mind already.
Yeah.
Where would I like to see them go at 27? Edge.
Okay.
They have to go edge rusher at 27. Unless they and if they sign somebody tomorrow, a veteran, say if they made a trade for Gennard and it was like for future picks, then I would say no.
Obviously, yeah.
But I just think you gotta find a way to get another pass rusher opposite of Nick.
Yeah.
Nick right now. Aaron, is your style tonight the Snyder Cut? I was a big fan of the Snyder Cut, but I am definitely moved on to the James Gunn universe. I am a comic book nerd.
All right.
Totally lost my train of thought. Thank you, Kenny. What was I saying?
If we traded for Gennard, but they need to bring another edge rusher in some way, somehow, right?
I would love to see another body come in the door. Not named Joey Bosa, because I don't want him here if he only wants to get paid. That's so dumb. Everyone was like, yeah, Joey Bosa. And I'm like, I was already on him. And then now I find out he doesn't want to take it. Yeah, I'm like, get out of here with Joey Bosa, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. The draft, my brother's going to be he's really excited. Being a Dolphins fan and having a regime change and a coach change. He's like, for the first time, he's excited in many years. I told him that the receiver, Waddle, was going to get traded. And he's like, no, he's not. They said he wasn't. Literally gets traded. Is like, what did I tell you? I was like, don't I tell you I know more about football than you do? I guess you're right. Even when his own team, I remember when the year that they brought in that one quarterback that the Cardinals drafted, but it didn't pan out. Right before they drafted Kyler, I forget his name. And I was like, watch the Dolphins sign him. And he's like, the Dolphins aren't going to sign him. And guess what happened? The Dolphins signed him. So everybody have a great rest of your evening. We'll see you next week if the news allows us to. And as we get closer to the draft, I will see you guys on Friday on the Cover 3 podcast, hopefully with the guys. Till next time, everyone, stay safe and healthy. Go Niners. And me and Mike will see you next time. Peace.
Take care.